Good afternoon. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Casio W-800H-1AVES. I paid £17 for this watch and I bought the watch from Amazon. So firstly, let's look at the box that the W800 comes in. It comes in this black cardboard box, and one pulls out the inner tray and the watch itself sits on a piece of foam. So I think that's perfectly acceptable, bearing in mind that this is an inexpensive watch at only £17. Now, when I'm considering reviewing a watch on my channel, the watch should meet two criteria. The watch should be both excellent quality and excellent value at the respective price points, and I'm pleased to report that this W800H doesn't just meet that criteria, it actually exceeds it. The watch is only £17, so it is indeed excellent value, and it is also excellent quality. The build quality of this watch is exceptional. So I'll talk you through the other items that come with the watch, and then I'll review the watch in detail. With the W800H, one gets this Casio cardboard tag, and on the reverse it has the European product barcode and also the reference number of the piece, W800H-1AVES. One also gets a warranty card, and it's not actually a card, it's a leaflet. Now, I bought the watch from Amazon, so the reverse of this warranty card leaflet is not stamped. Casio cover the W800H with a 12-month international warranty, which is very reassuring. But Amazon also cover the watch with a 2-year international warranty. So during a 2-year period of ownership, if you have any problems with your W800H, you can simply return the watch to Amazon for replacement or alternatively a full refund. So I think that's very good. One also gets this leaflet, which is translated into multiple foreign languages, and it details how to dispose of your watch when you're finished with it. One gets a leaflet which enters you into an international prize draw. Every month Casio run a prize draw to win a watch. So you simply go on the Casio website and enter your details of the watch you've purchased, and that automatically enters you into the Casio monthly prize draw. So it's very good, you have a chance of winning a watch, and it's free to enter. Now, lastly, one also gets a very comprehensive owner's manual. This user's guide is translated into multiple foreign languages with diagrams, and it goes into great depth, detailing how to operate the various functions of the Casio module number 3239 and also module number 3240. So the W800H that we're looking at here uses the module number 3240, and the 3240 is used in many Casio watches. It's a very well proven reliable quartz module, and it's one of my favourite Casio modules. I really like the functionality and the reliability of the module number 3240. So with regards to the watch itself, I'll talk you through the specifications. The W800H has been produced since 2010, so during that 10-year production run, it's had no reports of build quality or quality control issues. It's a very well made watch despite being highly mass produced. It's a popular seller like the Casio F91W, which is an iconic purist Casio collector's piece due to it being the first piece that the Casio engineer Kikuo Ibe designed for Casio. So I really see the W800H as a credible alternative to the iconic F91W. It's a larger piece and therefore more masculine. I like the fact that it has larger proportions, and therefore it suits collectors with a larger wrist of 7 to 8 inches. So with regards to the dimensions of this case, the Casio W800 has a 37mm case, it's 14mm thick, and it has an 18mm lug width. Now, with regards to negatives, 14mm is actually quite a tall dimension for a Casio digital watch. I'll put it into perspective. A Rolex Submariner is 13mm thick. So this W800H is a full 1mm taller than a Rolex Submariner, and that's largely due to the raised bezel on the case. So bear that in mind. For example, if you're intending to wear this watch as a daily wear piece, as a work watch, underneath a business shirt with a long cuff, if your cuffs on your long sleeve shirts are tight, you might find it a struggle to fit that 14mm thickness underneath the shirt cuff comfortably. Personally, I like that aspect of it. I like the fact that it sits tall on the wrist at 14mm. I think it gives the watch real wrist presence, and although it doesn't have any heft, the watch is only 37 grams. It does have the proportions of a masculine watch. And if you're a collector that likes the aesthetic of the F91W but think it looks too feminine, or it looks like a child's watch, This W800 watch really is the watch for you, because at 14mm thick and a 37mm case, it does have more masculine proportions. It really is more like a man's watch. So 37 grams gives the watch a very light, comfortable feel-good factor when on the wrist. It's a very, very comfortable watch to wear, and it has the feeling of being weightless. You really feel like you're not wearing a watch at all. So, for example, if you're going to wear this watch for long periods of time, such as 12 hours per day, this is the ideal watch. A 37-gram watch gives incredible comfort and feel-good factor. Now, there are two specifications to this watch that I think are absolutely outstanding, and Casio deserve full credit for. The first is that the module 3240 has an incredible 10-year battery life, and I think that is just astounding. The other thing I really like about it is it has an incredible 100-meter water resistance. Now, I just want to talk about that water resistance. Very unusual to get 100 meters water resistance with a 17-pound watch. This watch has 4 pushers which go through the case. Now, bear in mind that pushers only have one rubber O-ring around the pusher to provide an effective hermetic seal between the pusher and the case itself. So this is a testament to the incredible build quality of the W800H, because normally to get an effective hermetic seal to 100 meters, one either has to have a screw down crown or alternatively a pusher with 2 rubber O-rings. But Casio have managed to do it with 1 rubber O-ring per pusher. So 4 pushers going through the case, and one would expect the watch wouldn't have great water resistance. It would leak quite easily. But I think it's very good to have 100 meters of water resistance, really good hermetic seal on those 4 pushers going through the case. Now, this is something I really like about the watch. The pushers are large, and they have a large flat surface area. Now, if you have large fingers, it's really comfortable to actually use the different pushers, and that's something I disliked about the F91W. The pushers are very small, but on this W800H the pushers are much larger, and it makes the watch more pleasant to use because of the large contact area. And I think that's a vast improvement this watch has, the W800H over the F91W. So very pleasing to use. Now, with regards to the module 3240 has a stated accuracy of plus or minus 15 seconds per month, and I think that's very good accuracy from the quartz module. Now, the calendar is pre-programmed to 2099, so this really is a watch that is going to last you a lifetime. It has a 10-year battery life, and if that's not good enough for you, you can be confident that the calendar lasts until 2099, and we're currently in 2020, so that is another 79 years on the calendar on the watch, which is pre-programmed. So I really like that aspect of it, the fact that you have that pre-programmed calendar. And also the watch has 29 time zones pre-programmed into it, and again I think that's excellent. So it's a day-date complication piece. We have the day, which is Friday in the top left, FRI, and we also have 2020 April, and it's the 17th of the month. So we have the day at the top left, and then we have the full calendar on the bottom of the screen. One can also select between a 12 or 24 hour display. As you can see, it says 1427, and one can switch to 227 depending on if you prefer a 12 hour or 24 hour display. The top right pusher operates the backlight, and as you can see on the case, this is an illuminator model, which again is a credit to the specification. One uses the bottom left pusher to change the mode. It has an alarm, it also has a stopwatch function, and also a dual time zone function. So really this watch does everything that you could possibly need: stopwatch, alarm and dual time. So bear in mind the dual time function is very useful if you need a watch with a GMT function. If you need 2 time zones to be displayed simultaneously, I think the dual time zone is very practical, because for example if you're traveling between countries, it's good to have that dual time zone displayed on the same screen at the same time, rather like a GMT watch. And I really like that aspect of its functionality. So really this watch does everything you could possibly need. 100 meters of water resistance means you can shower with it, you can bathe with it, you can go swimming with it, and also it has a 10-year battery life, so it's a no-nonsense watch that you can wear for 10 years. With regards to its case construction, nice raised bezel, Very well executed design, and I like the large pushers as I've discussed. The 18mm strap is quite stiff. It's the typical resin strap that one would expect with a Casio watch, but very secure pins going through the case. It does feel like it's a very solid construction with no play or extra articulation where the resin strap meets the lugs of that 37mm case. Now, I think this watch would also be very good looking and also comfortable if you exchange the resin strap that it comes on for either a NATO strap or a rubber strap. The tang and buckle is signed with the Casio logo engraved, and we also have a sliding keeper which again is signed with the Casio logo, and the keeper slides so it's easy to adjust to exactly where you want it on the strap. The keeper is very durable. So although these Casio resin straps are not particularly comfortable because they're quite stiff, the resin feels like quite plastic rather than a rubber feel of silicone, they are incredibly durable, and it is very well executed. It's completely smooth on the underside with no sharp edges or ridges, so if you're going to wear this watch for long periods of time, it is a very comfortable strap. And looking at the end of the strap, you can see it has a web, and that actually is a very important aspect of it because it reinforces the end of the strap where the bar goes through the lugs, and it adds extra rigidity and extra strength to the strap. Often on resin straps, the end of the strap is a part that's prone to splitting and breaking. It cracks with time because of all the flexing that goes on with the resin strap joining the pin to the lugs. So I'm pleased to see that quality, build quality, because as you can see, that web does add significant thickness and protection around the bar that goes through the case. So this watch really is a very well made watch. With regards to the case back, it's brushed finish stainless steel case back, and it has 4 stainless steel screws in each of the corners. So that's excellent because these stainless steel screws are never going to rust or corrode if the watch is used in water, for example if you take the watch swimming. And I also like the brushed smooth finish of the satin case back. It's engraved with the reference number and the specification of the piece, and it does indeed say stainless steel back and water resist 100 meters. So very good that it provides 100 meters of hermetic seal to the plastic 37mm case. Very well executed, and the smooth feel of the stainless steel case back means that it wears very comfortably on the wrist. So I'll give you a wrist shot, and now usually with watches such as the Casio F91W, I have a problem because I have an 8-inch wrist, and often it's the case that Casio digital watches do not fit my 8-inch wrist. But as you can see, I'm pleased to report that this W800H will even fit up to an 8-inch wrist with no problems. There's actually 2 extra holes available, and there's no problem whatsoever engaging the end of the strap into that sliding keeper, as you can see. So very practical. Now in terms of feel good factor, this watch is incredibly comfortable. It's one of the most comfortable watches that I've ever had on the wrist because it's only 37 grams. So although it's quite tall at 14mm thick, it only has an 18mm lug width, and it is a very lightweight piece with no heft whatsoever. So as you can see, it wears very snugly to the wrist. It wraps around the wrist due to the very short lug to lug measurement. And the strap, although it's quite stiff, the resin strap isn't as soft and supple as a silicone rubber strap. It is a very lightweight, comfortable watch. I like the way it looks, and I also like the way it feels. That smooth brushed satin finish stainless steel case back gives incredible comfort. It really feels like I'm not wearing any watch at all, and if this is worn underneath a jacket or a shirt cuff, for example, you would have the feeling of not wearing a watch, and that is something I look for in every watch. I think that they should have that comfortable feeling on the wrist. It's often the case that a watch is good looking, but it simply feels uncomfortable, and subconsciously a collector will wonder why they don't like wearing the watch, and it's simply because it doesn't give good comfort. So I'm going to switch the light out and I'll show you the backlight, and you can see the performance. Now this is an illuminator, so I'm expecting the backlight to be very good. So just bear with me and I'll find the pusher in the dark. There we have it. As you can see, being an illuminator, the performance of the backlight is excellent, and I absolutely love it. So it's backlit with an LED from the bottom left corner, but as you can see, it really does light the screen very well. Now, the only minor criticism I have of it is it doesn't have a timer. So, for example, when you press that pusher, you have to keep your finger pressed on it to continually illuminate the watch. It doesn't have a timeout. For example, it won't hold the light on for, say, 3 to 5 seconds. So that's a minor criticism. On other illuminator watches, if, for example, on the Casio F91W, if you press the illuminator pusher to illuminate the screen, the light stays on for a little longer, the LED. But I do like it when it's illuminated. As you can see, it does make the watch very easy to read in the dark. So perfectly acceptable. I do like illuminator watches. So lastly, I'll surmise the watch. What do I think of it? This watch is a champagne watch for lemonade money. I really think if you have a budget of £20 and you're looking for a suitable daily wear piece, a no-nonsense, durable, practical watch, this is it. I would prefer this watch to the F91W at even money. Now, the F91W can be bought on Amazon for as little as £10, so it's less expensive. But bear in mind that this is a more masculine looking piece at 37mm with a 14mm thickness, and it has the same 18mm strap width as the F91W. I actually think this is a better looking watch than the F91W. Less expensive option to the Casio G-Shock, and I've every confidence that it would be just as durable as a G-Shock. Really, to get a 10-year battery life and 100 meters of water resistance, they are reasons alone to buy this watch. Just think, you can buy this watch for £17 and potentially wear it for 10 years, never having to change the battery, and knowing that you could take the watch in the bath, the shower, swimming, because of the 100 meters water resistance. It has the stopwatch, the day-day functionality. It also has the dual time zone functionality, and one can also change the display from 12 to 24 hours. There is simply nothing more you could want from this watch. It does everything you could possibly want at only £17. The quality control, the build quality, the construction is all outstanding. As I've discussed, to see webbing on the end of the strap is very reassuring. It means it's going to last for that 10-year period. The other thing I like is the larger pushers compared to the F91W, which makes the watch easier to operate. And everything about it is just done to perfection. I absolutely love it. So I think this watch is one that I'm going to highly recommend as a champagne watch for lemonade money. This is the best watch money can buy for £17. It simply cannot be beaten. I absolutely love it. So I highly recommend the Casio W-800H for your consideration to add to your own personal collection. I hope you've liked my review. Please feel free to post your own comments below the video. Thank you very much.